Troubleshooting Vault AWS Auth requires a systematic approach to identify and resolve issues. Start by understanding the Vault AWS Auth workflow, which involves authenticating AWS entities such as IAM users or roles with Vault. First, verify that the AWS Auth backend is enabled and configured in Vault. Check the Vault configuration file to ensure that the AWS Auth backend is mounted and the AWS credentials are correctly set up. Next, check the AWS credentials being used by Vault, including the access key ID and secret access key. Ensure that these credentials have the necessary permissions to authenticate with AWS. Then, inspect the Vault logs to identify any error messages related to AWS Auth. Common errors include authentication failures, permission denied errors, and invalid credentials. Check the AWS IAM role or user being used for authentication to ensure it has the necessary permissions to access Vault. Verify that the IAM role or user has a trust relationship established with Vault. Test the AWS Auth configuration using the Vault CLI command to authenticate with AWS. If authentication fails, verify that the AWS credentials are correct and the IAM role or user has the necessary permissions. To further troubleshoot, use the Vault debug mode to enable detailed logging and gain insight into the authentication process. This can help identify issues with the AWS credentials, IAM role or user, or Vault configuration. Finally, consult the Vault documentation and AWS IAM documentation for additional troubleshooting steps and best practices. By following these steps, you can effectively troubleshoot Vault AWS Auth issues and ensure seamless authentication with AWS entities. Best practices for troubleshooting Vault AWS Auth include regularly reviewing Vault logs, testing authentication configurations, and ensuring that AWS credentials and IAM roles or users are properly configured. By implementing these best practices, you can minimize authentication issues and ensure secure access to Vault.